friends and fellow assholes. I'm Jay.
I'm Matt.
I'm Sean.
And that's Gertie. Hi, Gertie. How are you? And today, we're going to talk about the Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman. So we just saw, not a trailer, a teaser.
Yep.
Barely a teaser, like, I don't know, seconds worth of a teaser from Matt Reeves showing Robert Pattinson in the Batsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I didn't think much. I mean, the only thing that I thought was that Robert Pattinson looked the part. Like, he had a good jaw and chin and lips and everything. I think I like Robert Pattinson. But, the suit, honestly, the way it was done, I watched it 2, maybe 3 times, and I can't say I spotted much. Like, it was hard to see. I have no opinion about the suit.
It was dark on dark.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that they did it, but I can't say it really told me a whole lot.
No, it didn't tell me much either because, I don't know. I'm not paying attention to this stuff. The internet says the suit looks very familiar.
Yeah, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's Batman.
It's nothing new.
No, but you don't need to do a new thing for Batman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad they're taking a step back from Ben Affleck's, like, super suit.
Yeah, the suit of armor, like, from Superman Returns, like, or Dark Knight, I guess.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns. Anyway, we don't need, like, cyborg Batman to fight Superman. We just need Batman to be Batman.
It's
do we
early
need
career
more Batman. Is this really something we needed in our lives?
There's a lot of great Batman stories.
Uh-huh.
And
I would. They been told?
Well, not all of them.
Okay.
We can reboot him again.
I don't know if Batman needs his own movie. I mean, I'm glad that there is, but I think if this craze is happening, there should probably be, like, if we're staying within the Marvel and DC stuff, there should probably be a Spider-Man, there should probably be a Batman, there should probably be a Superman, just sort of out there, so that, especially if we're doing, like, these extended universes or stuff like that. Like, these characters are should be somewhat present in all these universes if we're doing it. Like, if we're going to take a break from comic book movies and just have, like, go back to having, like, one comic book movie a year, then there doesn't always need to be a Batman franchise. But for now, I think there should probably be a Batman and a Spider-Man and a Superman.
Yeah, well, I have to say, the one thing that's weird with DC is, like, we just saw Birds of Prey, and, like, I just find it weird when she's, like, walking around in this universe. In Gotham City. She's walking around in Gotham City, and I don't see a newspaper mentioning Batman, a radio, nothing is talking about, like, what I think is probably really predominant news cycle stuff.
Yeah.
Probably hard to get Batman and Superman and everybody else that exists.
Yeah.
Like, even the Joker, we don't hear from him, except for they've just had a breakup.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just weird the DC universe really doesn't feel connected to me.
And it is a missed opportunity, and I think, as Matt was talking, that would be a really good idea, is to have Batman or Superman be the connective tissue of all these movies, where we don't have another reboot of Batman and another reboot of Superman. They are present, and they will be making an appearance and tying it together, but not telling the same old origin story of Bruce Wayne's parents getting shot for whatever. Sorry, spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just think it's weird, like, in Birds of Prey, when we have this great big shootout battle scene, like, all these people are dying, and nobody shows up to see what's going on.
Yeah, Batman doesn't care about that.
Well, that's, like, what?
Well, because he's fighting aliens now. Like, it becomes the lowest pay grade. But, like, on IMDb, I believe, or any official synopsis, like IMDb or something, they say that Batman has gone missing from Gotham. Birds of Prey didn't really mention that in the actual movie. But I guess if you looked at the IMDb page, there's, like, bonus content in, like, the synopsis. And she was starting to tell us where Batman is, then gets cut off, doesn't she, in the, like, post-credits.
Oh, we didn't stay for those.
Oh, well, you didn't miss much.
That's what the internet said.
Yeah, she gets cut off. She's just like, oh, like, I don't know, it was something like, oh, you're still here, and you just hear her voice. She's like, get out of here, like, the movie's over. Okay, well, I got big news for you, Batman, and then gets, like, cut off. By, like, nothing, by she just stops talking. So.
Oh, just to tease us. So I guess Matt likes Robert Pattinson in the role.
I don't know. I mean, I think he looks the part more than I thought he would.
Okay.
I still don't really, I still have trouble picturing him kind of as Batman, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be good. He's always good in his stuff. I wouldn't have thought of him as Batman, that's for sure.
That's kind of what's cool, though.
Yeah. He looks like, it looks like Batman in the, whatever, 30 seconds that we see. So...
Okay. See, I felt the opposite. I mean, I like a Ben Affleck in this role. Like, I like somebody who's, like, wide and, like, I don't think Robert Pattinson has the jawline for this. I'm not really, and I know he's come, like, I just picture him still as kind of that skinny, pasty guy in the vampire movies. And I know, like, I've really enjoyed it. I didn't watch those movies. And I really enjoyed him in nearly everything since. I really liked him in Damsel. I really liked him in Good Time.
Yep.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, he is really kind of terrific and quite versatile. So it's not that I think he'll be bad at this, but I find it kind of a strange casting decision.
Yeah. And I think it's like, they're making it sound like a very different take. Like it's going to be they say it's going to be very detective based and focusing on that. So I don't know if the whole tone is suiting the casting too. Like I don't know if he's going to be throwing as many punches. There's in the cast list, there's no Banes or anyone. It's a whole bunch of people that Robert Pattinson himself could probably fight easily. Yeah.
Well, Paul Dano. Yeah.
Paul Dano is the Riddler.
I mean, I guess if you cast Robert Pattinson as Batman, then you have to have a Paul Dano as the Riddler. Like, it's really...
You'd have to have Michael Cena. You'd have to have Michael Cera as Michael Cera as Bane.
Yes. That's right.
That is sounding really good, though.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like better than the Lego Batman movies.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's possibly part of me is still mourning a little bit that possibility that Joseph Gordon Levitt might be taking it over.
Yeah.
I really kind of liked that.
Yeah,
like
that was
just
good.
like the possibility, the way The Dark Knight Rises ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool to kind of stay in that universe.
Yeah.
I mean, Christopher Nolan's universe made it almost impossible to connect it to anything else.
Yeah, you couldn't have superheroes, really.
You couldn't have Superman or Flash or, like, even Wonder Woman, really.
Yeah.
And they really wanted to. And it's Christopher Nolan's Batman that actually put DC so behind schedule on trying to compete with Marvel, because they really needed that Batman series to finish. But yeah, I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I actually miss in anything. It would be hard for you to tell me Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to be in something and have me not be excited about it at this point.
Yeah,
He's been
same.
quiet.
He has. So I heard that Robert Pattinson found out he got the role on his first day on the set of Tenet.
Okay.
So I also have heard this version described as darker and more serious. And I think coming from the Christopher Nolan universe, it's hard to really picture something darker than that.
Or even Batman versus Superman, which for all its faults was still very serious. Like, they're really...
perhaps too serious for what was really happening a lot of the time. Yeah. And I guess that's the part of Robert Pattinson that I get is the brooding, angsty, guy. I don't know. I know Ben Affleck kind of stepped away. Like, first he wasn't going to direct, and then he was writing on a script, apparently had a script that he didn't really like and didn't really want to shoot this script. And he was kind of going down like the Arkham Asylum, Batman's insanity, exploring that. But he wasn't really feeling it. And And who knows what else was going on that made him back away from it, but now he's totally uninvolved.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of sad. Like, and again, like, speaking of having to reboot this franchise all the time, or this universe, it's like, we just started this, and then if you take Ben Affleck away, then are we also losing everyone else? Like, who else in this? Like, does Wonder Woman still team up with Robert Pattinson? Does she belong in that
Well, because this
universe?
movie is taking place, like, it's long before. I've heard it said it was going to be the 90s, but now they're sort of saying it's the early 2000s. Like, this is a prequel sort of to Ben Affleck's Batman, but may not even be 100% in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not really clear on that.
Okay.
And I don't know what the connection is with Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson and even Joker. Well, Joker is sort of its own thing, but
They're all their own things.
Yeah.
I mean, it is confusing.
and yet there is still a connected universe somehow, and we're not really
Somehow.
sure what
we just
is-
don't know how it
Yeah.
happens and what's going on.
I
And
mean, I'll be really interested to see that movie that somehow ties all these loose threads together.
I mean, you know who does belong in the Robert Pattinson, Paul Dano universe is Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fits into their little
Yeah,
club of
you're right.
yeah.
Although I kind of like having like Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck around just to like knock him around a little bit. You don't want a guy like Robert Pattinson to challenge Jesse Eisenberg to a fight. You want the John Cena and the Idris Elba and the Ben Affleck and yeah. You want him to learn his lesson.
Yes, please. And Zoe Kravitz is going to be Catwoman.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like in that Robert Pattinson movie?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, okay.
She is actually the stepdaughter of Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm still unclear if that exists in their universe, but it does exist in
Yeah.
ours.
I mean, that would be a nice little wrinkle in the DC lore, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna have to connect this somehow, and they'll probably use like the Flash to do that. They're gonna have to like connect. If this does really well, as I suspect it probably is, be like they're gonna want to have him with Gal Gadot and like Jason Momoa and the people that people are
And
like.
what did happen to Ezra Miller? And where did that happen? Wasn't he getting his own movie?
Yeah, but
Supposed to.
but I think there was a release date put down on that fairly recently. I thought he's
Okay.
coming out with one in 2021. I thought.
Okay.
Could
I
be.
love Ezra Miller, and I really wanted to see more from him.
So they have a Flash TV show.
Ezra Miller was just on that.
He was just on that.
Yeah.
They did Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is really now the only way they can connect any of these movies is just have the multiverse and start
Yeah.
picking people from different
Oh
planets.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just did that on TV. So are they going to now do that in a movie? I don't know.
Well, because now the TV universe, according to the TV universe and the movie universe
Are in the
are
same-
actually are still tied. They're just in different. Because he was wearing the same suit from Justice League and everything. So, and I think that they partly did. I mean, Ezra Miller is super excited to keep doing this. There was rumors he was writing his own script because he was so afraid they were gonna. It's been too long. They're just gonna recast him. He was really trying to get this going so he could be in it. He really wanted to do this, so he could have just did that cameo because he wanted to, or also they could be just trying to like get a little bit of momentum going for getting people excited about this movie that people might have forgotten might happen.
That's a lot of mites.
There's a lot of mites. Yeah, that's how Mighty Thor happens.
Yeah.
Too many mites. So, there's Christian Bale Batman voice,
Yeah.
and then a Ben Affleck Batman voice.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson says that his Batman voice is inspired by Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you're still feeling good about this?
I mean, I guess I have to.
I guess you do.
What other choice do I have?
Well, the other choices they considered were Aaron Taylor Johnson,
I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult.
No,
That would be
I mean,
weird.
he's already an X-Men, so I hate it when they cross over.
Yeah.
They all are. It's too late for that.
I know, but we should stop doing it.
How about Army Hammer?
Yeah, I can sort of see that.
I can see him. Of those that you've said, he's the most Batman.
He'd be the best Bruce Wayne.
He'd be an excellent Bruce Wayne.
I can't imagine what his Batman voice would be like.
Yeah, you know what? For some reason, he just feels a little too happy-go-lucky. Like he's more a '90s Batman.
Yeah,
20,
he's
20
George
Batman.
Clooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they could do that, right? Like, there is a whole era of stupid, crazy Batman from the '60s that are just like nuts.
But George Clooney killed that for everybody, though. Like, after the failure of Batman and Robin, it's going to be a long time before they could get people excited. Like, and it's been a long time, but still, I'm telling you, people are still going to talk about Batman. Like, one way to kill Batman movie's hype is to say the opposite. Like, this one's going to be darker, more serious, and just be like, this one is going to have a sense of humor. Like, that's all. I mean, any other franchise, you could be like, you know, this one is going to have a sense of humor, and people would be like, oh, that sounds cool. But Batman, it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
No, don't you dare.
They nearly cast Seth Rogen as the Penguin.
Jonah Hill, right?
No, Seth Rogen.
Was it Seth Rogen?
I think Jonah Hill was definitely, his name was tossed about. He might have been the Riddler.
Yeah, which would have been cool, actually.
I mean, that is going more towards, though, this kind of funny and fantastical Batman. Instead, they went with Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Which is a weird replacement for Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Penguin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
He is. And it's very weird against a Paul Dano. Like, it's just...
Paul Dano Riddler I can see more than a Colin Farrell Penguin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Paul Dano is super well cast. Colin Farrell is weird. Like, it's going more serious in the sense that we're taking away from, like, this, like, shape of the Penguin and stuff. And, it's going to be, I think, more an essence than like a body type, I guess. I don't know. It's so kind of weird that it almost makes me like it. Like it's hard to.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
But he was also Bullseye, which you must also hate.
Well, let's just forget that Daredevil movie even happened.
Colin Farrell has actually been named for a lot of DC Extended Universe movies. It's funny how hard they've been trying to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Given that, you know, he's not usually the first people think of, he's not the guy people think of first for much anymore.
No.
So it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to talk about
So
Alfred?
this really does sound like a big old mess.
Are we going to talk about Alfred, though?
Yeah, please.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, interesting.
That is cool.
And Jeffrey Wright is
Commissioner Gordon.
that's
Well, although he's not the commissioner yet, apparently.
Yeah.
So we're doing like a year one-ish?
Kind of, because we also have John Turturro as Carmine Falcone
Yeah.
And Peter Sarsgaard.
in an unnamed role, which is
I heard
very
the
exciting.
District Attorney.
Yeah, but like a character no one's heard of, so I have a feeling like he's gonna end up being something.
He's gonna change his name to Harvey Dent Jr.
Yeah.
Junior. Wow. Yeah. So, net positive or net negative here? Where are we going on this?
I'm definitely net positive. 100%.
I am now net negative.
Oh.
All of this stuff.
Oh.
I didn't know there was all this, like, how are we cramming in the Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, a Commissioner Gordon, Carmine Falcone,
Yep.
some other unnamed, probably a Two-Face. Like, this is too much.
Well, the way
Especially
they're doing
since, as Matt said, they are, I mean, according to them, it's going to be like a neo-noir, like, detective story.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, a lot of his rogues gallery are sort of being, like, questioned or something. Like, they're suspects. So, most of these people aren't going to really wind up being any, like, main villains so much as he's working some case that has him, like, talking to some of these people. I don't think he's going to actually, like, fight the Riddler or anything. The thing is, the actual main villain, like, if there's going to be any fight scene in this, I have no idea who is out of the people we've named, none of these people are a huge physical threat to Batman. So, in terms of who's actually behind whatever's going on, I have no idea who it's going to end up being. Like, I feel like Riddler and Penguin stuff will just end up doing character work and stuff.
And then what if Joaquin Phoenix just pops up?
That would be awesome.
No.
I mean, it would take away from Joker, but it would be. I mean, I would rather no Joker was in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you have
everyone?
everyone except Joker? That seems weird.
Well, he could be in Arkham. It's a young Batman, so I guess it's possible Joker's not out yet, like as a character.
Well, not if
Not if-
Joker is
right.
at all in
If Joker was
chronology.
Joker when Batman was little and
Yeah.
not Batman yet,
Right.
then maybe we're between Jokers.
Yeah, yeah. They could be. He could be in Arkham, or he could be. You know, maybe what went down is like, well, there's no way this was Joker because it's not like
It's not
deranged
crazy.
enough. Like, yeah, like.
But that's every Batman villain. is
Maybe
trying to
Joker's
one-up the
gone missing
crazy.
and Batman
Yeah.
has to find him.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, they could do
That
like.
would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
they could really
Where
get
they
together.
just make friends and decide we're not so different after all.
Like
We
the
both
Lego
have a
Batman
name,
movie.
Martha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like the Lego Batman movie. Do you think Batman will ever have a Robin again?
I think so.
I would hope so.
Hmm.
I think there's some good stories there. I think Chris O'Donnell just and I mean,
Yeah.
We just
George
haven't had the
Clooney.
courage to tell it again. Like
No.
we really have not gone there. at
Yeah,
all.
and you really have to establish Batman well to go there. I mean, Ben Affleck already had a dead Robin in his Batcave.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he just had his defaced uniform.
that's right.
Yeah,
So Jason
yeah.
Todd was
Jason Todd.
already dead.
Yeah.
So I guess they've and there's been like a lot of talk. Like they were really trying to get a Nightwing movie going in that DC extended universe, which they were never really able to do. So
Well, you can't really have Nightwing until you have a Robin.
yeah, but the thing is, because Ben Affleck is supposed to be so far into his Batman career, so had they stayed there, they could have brought in like Damian Wayne or anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, Damian Wayne's a good Robin.
Yeah.
Jason Todd is a good Robin for a while, but yeah, things have to go really bad for him,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, we never got to see him die.
Would you like to see Michael Cera be the Robin in this?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy way to fit him in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Robert Pattinson, we're not going to see a Robin for quite some time, I think.
Yeah.
He's,
Well, they can't be basically the same age.
right, exactly.
Why though?
Because Batman is the teacher.
The father figure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it
Robin-
would make it less weird if they were the same age.
But then, like, why is Robin coming to seek out Batman if Batman isn't established already?
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. Like, you need to have some years or some experience under Batman's belt. It doesn't necessarily need to be age. Like, if we're on the third Batman movie and Batman's still in his early 30s, I guess they can still have him. But traditionally, it's always been like a father figure. But traditionally, this kid has always moved into Bruce Wayne's house and lived in his Batcave and dressed up in costumes. So, I mean, maybe some of that can be...
Let's
Less
get
creepy.
some of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a less creepy way to do this.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
But you haven't given up on the character.
No, Robin's a good character. I mean, Dick Grayson's a good character
Yeah.
as he becomes Nightwing. That is a
That's
good story.
awesome right there. They should really make a Nightwing movie. I really wanted that to be like Todd Phillips had talked about having these standalone movies for these characters, and I really thought Nightwing should be the follow-up to Joker.
Yeah, well, that again is what you're saying about just going around Batman and
Yeah.
not having another Batman movie, having
Yeah.
movies in that universe
Yeah.
where, yeah, he could pop up.
And yeah, there doesn't have to be like any action necessarily. Like it could be like Joker, where it's just like the idea of someone growing up who used to be Robin, which is like an insane thing if you really unpack the childhood that was, or what a weird,
Yeah.
like what an unhealthy father figure, or really like guardian Bruce Wayne was. And I would love to see like a Nightwing movie where it's just his like resentment towards Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, let's get that set up.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be Nightwing?
That's a good Joseph Gordon Levitt.
Except he's
he might
older than
he
Robert
might be-
Pattinson.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. But he might be too old though. It's true
Well,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
to like start being Nightwing. Like he might. He's pushing it. Like we'd have to start pretty soon if it's Joseph Gordon Levitt.
Yeah, let's get it started.
Yeah.
Let's get this going. And so, does this Batman, is there any way this Batman exists in the same universe as the Suicide Squad?
That's a confusing
Does Jared
one.
Leto's Joker still exist?
I don't think so.
Like,
He still exists because of Suicide Squad is still somehow canon because of Birds of Prey, and even this new Suicide Squad, which still has Margot Robbie and so kind of, but he's out. Like we're never going to see Jared Leto again. But
But Joker
that's all.
exists, but I don't think it has to be the Jared Leto Joker. I think we'll just pretend like it's a Joker like everyone likes.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be like that Joker could just be some poser. Like it could just be
It
like,
could have
oh,
been a
that was
fake
never
Joker.
really the Joker.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the Joker could come and kill Jared Leto.
Yeah,
And do you think he would sign up to be in that movie?
Jared Leto probably
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
would.
would. I think he'd be. I mean, he's up for all sorts of weird stuff.
He is, but he's definitely been very open about how this has just been one big humiliation that he brought on himself. He hasn't really been open about that part. But this whole joke, like then Joaquin Phoenix's Oscar, and how Oscar just completely skips Jared Leto, given that we have Heath Ledger and then
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix, and it's this
And then
whole
we're
thing.
just like, do.
Yeah, like he was furious about that Todd Phillips movie. So I don't know.
But isn't this how redemption happens? When he signs up to kill the thing that everyone hates.
Maybe. And the thing is, he hasn't been like George Clooney. Like Batman made George Clooney more awesome because he was just like so self-deprecating about it, and has always been open about that being one of his most public failures. And like Jared Leto has just not been a George Clooney about it, like at all. And
There is a world of difference between Jared Leto and George Clooney.
I mean, when just remember my experience of watching Dallas Buyers Club and everything, and it's just amazing how much Suicide Squad has changed the way I think of Jared Leto.
Yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate follow-up there.
And I really seem to be not the only one. Like just the way people speak of him has changed.
It's true, and like really, I mean, you said this sort of, but he did in a way set himself up for this because he certainly pumped up this role,
Yeah, he did.
made this role the showiest role he
Yeah.
possibly could have. Like,
Yeah.
it was too big to fail, and then it did.
And
Yeah.
it did. And he's also barely in that movie, and it just made no sense.
No,
either.
exactly. And he was pissed about how much was cut out.
Was cut out.
I just don't understand though what was left out and what made all that important.
What would have made it
Yeah.
worth it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest
Fair.
things I ever read about that was just her saying it didn't help that every time he talked about this movie, he had like this grin on his face, like a 15-year-old at Thanksgiving who can't wait to tell his like grandmother that he's an atheist. Like he just had this like, oh wait till you see it. Oh, you are going to crap.
And then
Yeah.
we didn't.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
We just went.
Yeah, so it's funny that he's like we seem to have just discarded Will Smith.
Well, the scheduling difficulties. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know why he was ever Deadshot.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
made no sense because the whole thing about Deadshot is you never see his face. But if you never see his face, obviously you're not going to cast Will Smith.
Save money,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I genuinely wouldn't have minded if it turned out that Idris Elba had replaced him as Deadshot. Which apparently they're not doing.
No, don't do that because that's just repeating the same mistake. 'Cause
Of
again,
like showing his
Idris
face too
Elba
much,
is also not going to be behind a mask for the whole
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Like, just have him be a no-name character, like a no-name actor, because that's what you need. Get someone who will do a good job, and off you go. And then Idris Elba
Mandalorian,
can
put him in there.
put who?
The Mandalorian. He doesn't want to be
Yeah, he's
under a helmet.
perfect.
Yeah.
He's already proven it.
All right. Well, we've got a lot to say about Batman, and nobody's listening. But we're totally going to get on the Nightwing thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm gonna start writing that.
We're going to start thinking about who's going to be our Nightwing, though.
Well, what about Pedro Pascal?
Sean.
He could be multiple roles behind these masks.
No. All right. Well, we're going to think about that. You guys think about it. Let us know who you think should be. All right? Okay. Bye.
Bye.